Hi, this is Steve O'Mooney, and you're listening to another production of the Four Eyed Radio Network at foureyeradio.com.
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Lay. Sir. Yeah. Yeah.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when it comes up, the show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when it comes up, the show goes on.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on their desk, unaffected by their threats, then get busy on their ass. See, that's how that Chateau made me, that's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up, in times it's how you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder?
Show goes on, dude.
All right, already. The show goes on, man.
The show always goes on, dude.
Who's that guy? He's representing that 1st and 15th.
He's representing the grizzly that is this life. That was Lupe Fiasco for your eardrums.
Chicago's own, very own, yeah.
Yeah, he always he has ties to Texas too. I always feel like, doesn't he, or something?
I always thought it was Chicago.
He is Chicago. He does rep Chicago. I know. I think he grew up in Chicago, but I always feel like he's got weird Houston ties for some reason.
What was the name of his first album?
Food and Liquor.
Food and Liquor. That's right. That's a great name.
2006. That was young college MJT.
And that was a big time in Chicago hip hop because Kanye was killing it.
Yeah.
Common was also just came out with B, and
your boy Rhymefest was in the peak.
brand new.
No, Chicago hip hop was really good right there. Do or Die had just come out with a good song. That's still one of my favorite. That's like one of the better hip hop tracks
right now.
We should end on
really
that.
Good song.
That is a very good song. We'll intro with that next week or something.
Oh man,
it's a fan.
I forgot about that song. But hey, man, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, exactly. But Lupe Fiasco. Quick note: he was in my mind today because he just released an album last week. Last Tuesday, he came out with his. Let's call it his 5th album, 6th album, maybe.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th album. It's called like Testio and Youth. Either way, I've been bumping it all week. Really good.
Really?
I always listen to his albums, and sometimes he gets too deep. Have you stayed with him at all?
After probably that track we just played off, that's the last album.
That was Lasers.
Yeah.
The Cool was a good album. He did Food and Liquor 2, 2012, so about 2-3 years ago. That would have some bangers
like 2010.
So either way, he's got one thing I will say about Lupe, and it's accentuated in the song that we just listened to. What is the fact that he uses strings? I think, and I know he doesn't produce all of his stuff. I don't think he does, but the string use and his the violin on that song.
Yeah. His beats always have a different.
You know what I mean?
Different feel to it.
Did I hit that note? But he and what I found on this album that I like a lot is he uses strings a lot on it, whether it's a little guitar lick.
He is very self-aware, self-conscious. I like that.
He's very opinionated too.
Yeah.
He's got some things to say.
It's also I like when with that stuff where he's positive, and he also definitely has some things to say.
Oh,
some of his stuff is very uplifting.
Right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
it's the other way.
And you're
You're like,
smoking a
yeah.
blunt, listening to this thing, and then all of a
telling
sudden the
us.
next track comes on and he calls Obama a terrorist, and you're like, what? What happened? Whoa!
I was feeling some type of way. Now I'm not feeling that type of way.
Yeah, just hit me with that reality. But his new album though, if you haven't listened to Lupe in a while, check it out. I've enjoyed it. It's got some really good stuff on there. He's got like 8-minute tracks where there's no hook.
That's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, I think they're getting back to the lyrics, which is important in hip hop. But have you been listening to anything new recently?
New?
Or just Bob Seger?
Just Eager, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I can't think of anything like brand new. Brand new.
Zach Brown had that new song.
Zach Brown's got a new single, Homegrown. That's a good one. We went back old school last the night after we did the podcast. We had a Men's Day Wednesday. At the Suns game with the Dudes crew, and ended up back here.
We haven't spoken to you guys since then. That's right.
That was a night and a half.
What were we listening to that night?
Oh God,
New
knows.
Edition.
I do remember. Here's a great story. You know how we always talk about when Mike gets into an Uber, he's looking for that auxiliary cord.
Do you have an auxiliary cord?
And if you don't,
do
you mind if I plug mine into your?
I'm a pretty good DJ.
You
play
are.
the hits.
But the best. This guy had no idea that how you felt about New Edition, and you got in the car and you're like, who you like? We were definitely sauced up. We were feeling some type of way after that game, and Mike's like, who's your favorite artist, man? Who do you like? This guy's like, hey, man, you don't like what I like. It's like, just tell me. He's like, I New Edition. Mike's like, what?
I'm like exploded.
Yeah, so New Edition came on.
Well, little does he know, I guess you do get 5.
I'm not going to. I'll say easily. Looking at you for as long as he had to look at you, I didn't think he was. I think he thought he was safe to say that New Edition was not in your wheelhouse, but it is so in the middle of your wheelhouse.
In the middle of
sweet
the
spot.
road.
It might be your favorite.
Oh man, yeah, that was good. And then we ended that trip with "Still in Love with You." And I remember when I pressed play, he was like, that's one of those songs that either you know it right away or you don't know it, and you're like, "What is this?"
So in love.
Yeah, but if you really know it right out the bat, you know there's keys that are in the. It's like a chime or something. It starts.
Did he know?
And I knew all of those words.
Do you think that he?
Oh, he knew.
Did he want you out of the car? I couldn't tell if not.
At that point, he wanted to hear that song. I like to think
that he wanted to finish it out.
I don't know if he wanted me to do the Ricky portion.
Oh my God!
The Ricky in or was it Ricky or
Bobby?
No, Ricky in New Edition was kind of like Wanye in Boyz II Men. He did he took it for the ride because Bobby did.
I'm still the man for you, baby. Are you talking about that very end? That's Ricky?
That's Ricky,
okay,
yeah.
You were doing that at full volume.
And
in our front
I'll
yard.
always keep you happy.
Yeah, and I do remember him looking at us like, maybe get him out of the car.
Yeah.
We had outstayed our welcome.
That was an expensive Uber.
I
got those emails the next day.
Every dollar.
He earned that Uber. That was the Uber XL from downtown.
Every dollar he earned. But,
that was last Wednesday. We went to the Suns game. Suns played the Blazers. Ended up being a real good game, actually.
Well, they were
Suns
up about
dominated.
30, and then we were up. And now, have you gone to a sporting event with you? Because do you remember the couple that were sitting in front of us?
Mm.
And his girlfriend, when the Portland Trailblazers were down at least 25 points.
Dude had like a Sam Bowie jersey on or something. Or no, Bill Walton.
Yeah, respect to the Walton jersey.
And I apologize.
But
to
still, we were
disrespect
up
him and
big.
say Sam.
We were up big. And they ended up coming back with 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. They took a lead, like a 5-point lead at one point. And this guy's girlfriend.
Within the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, and so this girlfriend is now standing up and turning around and looking at us, and we're a booze cruise. You know what I mean? We've been doing it.
Oh, we're rolling
the
60.
only way you can do it.
Yeah.
And she's looking at us, and he's not even turning around. He's giving her you realize who's gonna. Well, not that we were gonna fight anybody. I'm not saying that, but he was concerned, as he should be, with the booze cruise, because she's turning around like, "Where's your lead now?" And it was a little bit like nobody said anything, but you need to sit down. There's 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then we won the game. You don't say anything. You just give him a little look. You know?
There's a look.
There's a look when you walk over.
And you almost want to tell her you lost that game.
Yeah, had you not stood up,
it was your
5
fault.
minutes left. Had you waited till it was 0-0-0,
you put
maybe
that
you
in the
would have
universe before the game's over. You don't want to do that. That'll come back and nip you in the ass. So the Suns won that, and then since then the Suns have lost 2 games, but they got a big game tonight against the Washington Wizards.
So when you asked me what I've been listening to lately, not a lot of new stuff. I mean, we went back to New Edition.
Well,
when we got back here, we had all sorts of music going. Mr. Big was played at high volumes. Incubus,
oh yeah.
Oh my
God.
Led Zeppelin.
I got fuzzy.
I do remember thinking the neighbors might think we had a small a cappella group.
If the neighbors heard that, they think that we're a gay a cappella group.
Boy band, yeah.
That live here. Like that dude
They
from...
probably already thought that.
Like that dude from that Vince Vaughn movie, The Breakup. Jennifer Aniston's brother. Is in the a cappella group. Yeah, that's how we were.
With kick drum. Come on the kick drum. Gary on the kick drum.
That is a very underappreciated film.
And this is
that
episode,
had some very funny stuff.
It's great stuff. This is episode 35.
Episode 35 of The Brothers Turner, coming to you live.
Do you have any favorite number 35s when it comes to athletes or anything involving the number 35?
Easily number 1 is going to be KD. I'm a big KD guy.
Durantula?
Yeah. And Slim Reaper is...
And he just didn't like that one. But that's a tight...
Well, that's a great stance to take on it. Just as far as an influence on the inner city kids. Yeah, Slim Reaper, you know what? I'm not going to hold on to that one. I'll take the Durantula.
He didn't like Durantula, though. He doesn't really want to nick.
He's just KD.
Yeah. He's a bad man.
He is a bad man. That's the best 35. I'm a big 35 guy on the, what's it called? Roulette table. 35 and 23 are numbers that are right next to each other on the roulette table. And I'm a large supporter of.
Now you have a system. I've seen you. I watched a lot. I watched you play a lot of roulette in Las Vegas.
Sure, you did.
Now what I've seen is you've got a couple numbers that are right next to each other. You got the 35. You got your 14, 23, and you kind of have a trifecta there, and you build it up kind of into a mountain, and then you have some other numbers that you like to hit as well.
Yeah, I like my numbers. I typically am always going to use the same numbers, though. It's the same core numbers. And 23, 35. I like all my double numbers. I'm hitting double 0, 11, 22, 33. You better believe that. And then I like 23 and 35. I like that wheelhouse, and they're right next to the number 4. R.I.P. to my boy Bobby. For 4 is always. I'd always do that for him. And then what's the other number right there? Is 14 is in that area. Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. Mm-hmm. And it's a red 14. So you're going to want to touch that.
I like that.
I do 10 and 13 for your birthday.
There you go.
And then I do and 13 for our father's birthday. And then what other one? I don't even know what else. But that's it's my system. That's what I do. 35, either way. I'm all over 35.
All over 35 for that.
Who you liking on 35?
I like Frank Thomas. Remember that guy? Remember Big Hurt?
I do recall Frank Thomas. He was a 35, huh?
It was 35.
I brought up one a little earlier, slept on 35, dude. Mike Messina.
Mike Moose. The Moose, man. When he was looking in, dude, he'd get that.
He was intimidating, but he also had a squinty thing going
just
on.
His eyes over the glove. He had a good. Him and Pettit. Pettit had a really good, intimidating look. But Moose was good too.
Yeah, I was a big Mike Messina supporter.
Power righties, man.
He actually had a little finesse too, but he could throw some heat. He was a cheese guy. He'll throw the queso, and he thrived in a steroid era. Yes. He was a good pitcher in the steroid era.
He wasn't scared. He always beat the Yankees in those big games.
They didn't. When he was in Baltimore.
When he was in Baltimore, yes, and that's why the Yankees would do that. They'd have a guy who would beat him all the time. Hey, why don't you join us? Why don't you play for us?
And he missed all those championships though. Yeah.
They got him right after that.
Because they got him before he got on in 01.
And they won.
They won. Didn't they win 98, 99, 2000?
Yeah.
And then
96.
And then he retired
99, 2000.
And then he retired in 08. And didn't they win in 09? I think they did.
Oh, yeah.
He missed him.
That's tough.
But he was, you know what? And he's not in the Hall. He probably will never be in the Hall of Fame. And I think he should. He's probably right on the cusp. But if he got a ring,
Moose was good.
Moose
was
was
really
real good. But that's a slept-on 35.
Frank Thomas is good, though.
Oh,
As
my
a
God.
DH, man, that guy, when in his prime,
Well, I
crushing
think,
it.
yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah.
And he almost always looked like he almost was about to fall over when he swung, you know what I mean? Like his knee kind of gave out a little bit.
Well, he was just so upper
He was
body.
a giant
he was
man,
all
swinging as hard as he could.
He was a linebacker in a baseball
yeah,
uniform.
trying to hit it out of the park every time.
Yeah, I was a big. Well, he was the big hurt man. That was a big influence on our youth. Remember when he was just coming up?
Him and Griffey.
He was a bad boy.
White Sox were tough, man. Because
he
of
won,
him.
He was on that team that won the ring, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think
I don't think he played
but he
a
was
role, but
on
he was
it.
on the team.
Yeah, Frankie T, dude. That's a great. Yeah, 35. You can't really think of a lot of 35s. Bengals wise, I can't think of a good 35. We're probably
David
missing
Fulcher,
somebody.
or is he 36?
No, I don't think he was 35. I think he
We're
was
not
like
thinking
33.
of somebody.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Mark Fisher will let us know that there was an important UC
We should be
Bearcat.
getting a text from Mark Fisher tomorrow
There was an
morning.
important UC Bearcat or a red leg that was 35. I can't think of any 35s.
Ooh, wasn't it? Wait, what was Brandon Clausen? No, he wasn't 35.
Oh my god!
And he's not important. So I'm not saying he's
God.
important, but that might.
What
have been
was? Yeah,
35.
Brandon Clausen.
Oh, we're missing one. I know we're gonna feel bad tomorrow. Mark, call us out. Our stat guy.
stat guy.
Stat guy, Mark Fisher. I need you out here in March too, Mark. I need a Mark Madness in March.
Mark Madness. Yeah, that's important. It's important to do that. What's going on here? We are coming to you live from PHX, dude, Phoenix, Arizona.
It's media.
What
day,
are some
man.
stuff? There's some stuff going on here this week, isn't there?
There is. There's a big game on Sunday.
We should have recorded this from the Super Bowl Central
Can you imagine? We're just gonna
on
we take this table
on Radio Row.
No, it's Super Bowl's going on, and ESPN set up where Alvin Ivy is on the canal
Where John works.
where I work
In Old Town, Scottsdale.
in Old Town, and maybe a stone's throw away is Fashion Square, and on the other side of Fashion Square, they have the ESPN live broadcast. They have they have 3 or 4 booths.
They're
One-
working the Camelback angles. That's
Yes,
what you were
and
saying.
they're doing it
They're
well.
just trying to rep that mountain.
They're doing it well,
Real hard.
It looks good, and I am that guy. I've been there 3 times alone. Every time.
Heavy now.
Which is,
To the Fan Fest?
it's a little sad, but it's also. I mean, I've made it a quick trip. I'm not in there, hanging out by myself trying
You're
to
like the number one fan,
Get in
like
front-
Ace Ventura and Ray
with my
Finkel?
ESPN shirt on. Yeah, I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
No, but I've walked around for sure. And then at one point, I thought I might get on TV, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. What if someone's like, hey, I think I saw you on TV. Were you alone at the ESPN Fan Fest? So
man.
I dipped
Yeah,
out of
you
that
should
shot.
dip on out.
Got out of that shot.
Did you see any little dipper daps, though? Was Carrie Champion up there?
Didn't see Carrie
You
Champion.
know who I'm talking about?
I do know exactly who you're talking
Is she
about.
your girl? Who's your favorite girl?
My first take on Carrie Champion would be, yeah.
Yeah. Table for one.
Yeah. She's a bad girl,
She's a bad
Mike.
girl.
She's very pretty. I forget the other. Hannah Storm does not do anything for me.
Oh, no.
I like her Storm.
You know
but-
who's struggling in the HD world? Linda Cohn.
Oh,
When
man.
HD came,
I remember
they
thinking
should have had
Linda
to sit
Cohn-
down with her at SportsCenter. Like, look, we got this thing called HD.
It's not going to work
It
out.
ain't working for
I'm
you.
looking at you right now
You
in
and
high def.
somehow John Clayton gets the no HD feed. You ever notice that?
Oh.
He does not have an HD
Man,
feed.
John Clayton's tough.
Brian Windhorst somehow does. He's like, I'll take the HD feed. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly.
The
what you're
whale
talking
of a
about.
man that knows
Windhorst.
everything about LeBron
And
James.
how are they putting him on the side view of that table? Why isn't he in the middle of the table?
They make him look so bad.
Yeah.
But you've got to be looking at yourself every day if you're Brian Windhorst. And it's
He's
like, dude,
throwing that jacket on. What size is that jacket?
every
first of
day
all?
when he eats a cheeseburger, he's got to be thinking about that HD side view. You know what I mean? He's got to just look at
How
that
big is that
salad
jacket? That jacket's gigantic.
that he's got.
I
It's
like a guy
barely
that
hanging
big
on.
when you're wearing a suit. They say, everybody looks good in a suit. That looks crazy. That is so much fabric.
Brian Windhorst.
Yeah.
I always like to think if his button had a mouth on it, it'd be just screaming.
I can't hold
It's
on.
the last day I can do this. I can't do it anymore.
Windhorst, dude. He talk about a dedication. To, I mean, he
You know
has
how
been
he got
with
his
LeBron.
job, dude? His
with
LeBron
LeBron's
thing.
boy. Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Well, he
But
came with him to Miami, right?
I don't know what the deal is.
Well, it
I
seems
know
like
that that's
he
the
was,
connection.
He was all of a sudden in Miami when he was down there, and he was the main guy down there when LeBron's down there.
Weird dude to confide in.
But he he's the same age as LeBron. I think they were whatever.
Maybe they grew up together.
He was probably his age, 19 years old, asking him questions. He trusted him, and LeBron said, "All right, you want that? You're going to put Windhorst as my main guy in Miami." And then he came back with him when he went to Cleveland.
That's so weird. And now he's making a bunch of money
He's
off of that relationship.
He is gigantic.
He's a big boy.
Talking about that guy can get up a court pretty
quickly. If you don't know
quickly.
Brian Windhorst right now, reverse this podcast about 5 minutes. Get an image of him, a side view HD image of him, and listen to the last 5 minutes.
You're gonna love it.
He's he's got some knowledge up there. So you don't like Hannah Storm. Carrie Champion, I think, is really doing some things. Beetle does some things for
Beetle's
me.
very pretty.
There's another one, Carissa Thompson or something like that.
There was one I saw
She's
yesterday.
pretty hot.
Blonde. I don't know her name. She was very pretty.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
And then they'll sneak some in here and there to try them out.
You're like,
and
hey,
you're like,
hey.
she should stick
Yeah.
around.
Especially those college football. You'll be like, who is reporting?
College
on the,
football's got some dipper dabs on there, dude.
What's his name? Ponder. Samantha Ponder?
She doesn't do it for me. That's a weird thing, I know. She doesn't like. I'm not saying I would. Obviously, she's pretty.
Keep going, please.
No, I'm just saying she ain't
Samantha
the one for me.
Ponder doesn't do it
I'm
for
not
you.
kicking her out of bed. I'm just saying, like, she's not my top 5, 6.
she's 6, man.
She's 6. She's coming off the bench.
She's coming off the bench.
But
all right, give me Ponder. Get in there. I need some new energy.
yeah. And are we going specifically off ESPN too? Because there's some other Dapper Dans out there.
Dapper Dans? Or
Or
Dapper Danes?
Dippin' Dots.
Dipper Daps.
Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots. Honey Dips.
First he stole my money grip, then he stole my honey dip.
Honeydews.
Mr. Dabalina.
Mr. Bob Dabalina?
Exactly. Maybe we'll intro with that one of these days.
Mr. Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina.
Classic cuts from Deltron 3030 as we digress from hot ESPN anchors to underground hip-hop from the early 90s.
We're the best at it.
I think so.
It's a cool area over there, and there's games and
Fan
food trucks.
Fest. Yeah.
ESPN food trucks. No, ESPN Fan Fest. And I saw Chris Carter yesterday.
How's he looking in person? He probably looks amazing.
Yeah, it's great. You know what? You know what's weird is, so normally if you're in a real studio, no one's going to be looking at you as you're getting your gear fixed or whatever before you're going to go on stage. But everything is just behind this backdrop. So the stage is up there, and they all have to come back behind the backdrop, and that's where you can see them.
And you see them, yeah.
They're right there. And like,
You could throw shit at them.
and you can say whatever you want, dude. Like
Racial slurs and stuff?
if you wanted to, but here's the thing.
You thinking about that?
I didn't think about that at all. I didn't want to yell a racial slur at Chris
You're right
Carter.
there. No, you're right.
But I saw him, and there's a guy. What's funny is there's some crazy sports fans in there. Like, I saw him, and I didn't want to make eye contact and make shit weird. But this guy behind me is like, fuck that guy, man.
Really?
Fucking piece of shit.
Is he a
You know,
Packers
like,
fan or
I,
something?
I hope. Do you know what I mean?
What if he's like a Bills fan?
And I looked
Chris
at him.
Carter
I did
tore
look at
up
him
as a
like, come
Dolphin.
on, dude. And he's like, I started laughing, but I was like, really? Fuck that guy? That guy's awesome.
Well, how would you hate? It's either Packers or Bears or something.
Or you're not a
But
fan
the
of-
Vikings didn't. I wouldn't hate.
Or
That'd
it
be like
could be completely
because they
racist.
didn't do anything, right? The Vikings were good a lot of years, but like they didn't win a championship or anything.
No, Chris Carter talked a lot of shit, though.
Did he?
Shit talker
I bet
for
he
sure.
did.
Yeah.
But you ever heard his
Hall of Fame speech?
Nah, the shit. What's that show they do? Well, yeah, that's amazing. His Hall of Fame
really
speech
good
is
one.
amazing. No, that show, what is it, Football Life or something?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
They could do a bunch of snippets of him, but people were talking shit to him.
Well, that's
and
in
he
the-
had
in the ladder,
he
yeah.
dished it off
What
though,
did he
real
say?
well though. They were talking
He was
about
like,
how old he
man,
is.
yeah.
He's
You
like,
better
you
put
better
it on knees and pray you play as long as I play in this league.
He played 15 years or something. He snuck some years in Miami.
He got lucky. He got Miami.
He closed it out as a Dolphin.
That's
That's what I'm
weird.
saying. I was gonna laugh if that dude was like a real adamant Bills fan and like the Dolphins. He torched him. He torched him on the Dolphins like late in the years. Like fuck that guy, man.
No, but Chris Carter's there. Jay Crawford, taller than expected.
Jay Crawford.
He
He
does a lot
does
of
like
the
cold
morning
pizza or something, right?
You should. I don't think there's a show anymore. But
I never liked Jay Crawford. He's a weird guy to me.
Ohio guy.
He does. Is he?
Yeah.
Oh. You know what? He's good at what he does. He just doesn't like do anything. For
No,
me.
you know what I met? Or I shook his hand.
He's a good host, I guess.
It was like, how you doing?
Yeah.
And they frown upon that at Olive and Ivy there. You're not
Shaking-
supposed to
get all
really
starstruck?
even acknowledge. I just, said,
Oh, you saw him at Olive and Ivy.
yeah, nice to meet you.
This week?
I like what you do, yeah.
Good for you.
And we met Michael Irvin
Oh,
on
yeah.
Saturday
Friday night.
Playmaker, man.
Saturday night?
The Playmaker. Yeah.
Was that his nickname?
He gave it to himself.
What do you think about self-proclaimed nicknames?
Well, when you're Michael Irvin, that's one thing. That's kind of expected. When you found out that
He
Michael
could
Irvin
have
gave
earned
himself
something.
a nickname,
I guess he never got one.
the Playmaker.
Yeah, you give yourself one at that point. He definitely deserved one.
His hands were
Playmaker's a good one.
gigantic.
His hands dwarfed me.
Yeah, I got pretty normal sized hands. This guy,
I got small hands already, and I was like,
enveloped my hand.
yeah, I felt like a
You
baby.
understood why he caught everything that was thrown his way.
Didn't you feel like there was added things on his hand? Like there's a whole other layer of hand?
The guy's hands were out of control.
The handshake, the things that were
Yeah,
going
I
on
was
in my
looking
mind,
at
I
his
was like,
face
this is
like,
not
oh,
a normal
God,
hand.
what's going on in your hand?
It was crazy. Like he had a whole other I don't even know how to describe it.
Really?
Dude had huge hands.
That was a horrible place we're at in that moment.
And we were at some horrible club, yeah. But then Irvin was there, and we're like, we'll chill.
It is
for a
surreal
little.
when you're like, is that Michael Irvin? That is definitely Michael Irvin.
Yeah, that is. That's cool. We grew up with our grandfather was a big Cowboys guy, and you know what? The Bengals were horrible, and we weren't Cowboys fans by any means, but we were like, we didn't dislike the Cowboys.
No, who didn't?
Right? I
that
think we
was
had
America's
posters
team.
and stuff. Yeah. Like we had those banners and stuff because our grandfather lived in
Die-hard
Garland,
Dallas,
Texas, like literally 2 miles from the stadium
when they were great.
when they were great. Yeah, and we were super young. And you remember going to the stadium when it wasn't even in season,
Yeah.
but it was such a big deal. We went to the stadium and we got posters and
You
shit.
got to see the old Cowboy Stadium.
But so that was cool to see Michael Irvin because those were the years that if I ever tolerated and followed the Cowboys, those are the years. Who didn't though? That was everybody.
Like 8-year-old Mike tolerating the cow.
I'll tolerate this
guys.
team. And then I fell into a Longhorns love.
Yeah, God.
Those were interesting days.
It was.
You know what? It made sense that I was a Longhorns guy though. We were down in Texas every year at least.
Yeah.
All right. Charlie Strong. Good
Yes.
recruiting class.
Charlie Strong. Hopping back on that bandwagon.
I'm back on. I got a broken ankle. Jumping back on that bad boy. I believe.
Are you going to participate in the Waste Management Open this weekend? It's one of the premier Phoenix events.
Yeah, so
It might be bigger this year
you guys
than
aren't.
the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
anybody not familiar with this PHX scene
Anybody?
right now?
Anybody? Hello?
that thinks that just the Super Bowl is going on this weekend is lying to themselves. Because we have every year during Super Bowl week/weekend, Phoenix hosts the rowdiest golf tournament.
Yeah, I might be more
It's
excited.
not even
I'm
a golf
excited for the game. Don't get me wrong. But
Game's
Waste
gonna be a good
Management
game.
is fun.
Game's going to be a good game. We'll get to that. I think we've got some predictions out, but things maybe have changed. We'll reiterate where we're at.
Let's
But
talk about
first,
the
let's talk about
Wasted
this. So it's
Management
called.
Open.
First of all, it's ironically called the Waste Management Open. For years, you might have known it as the FBR Open, the Phoenix Open before that, but it is now the Waste Management Open, which is ironic in the fact that you are so wasted that you should manage how wasted you are, and it's just a crazy weekend. It starts on Monday or Tuesday. They start really doing things, but it really picks up. Thursday is going to be the first day of
real play tomorrow.
Of real play, and a man by the name of was it
Eldrick.
Lion Tree or Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods is doing it for the first time in how long? Like
14 years.
99?
2001.
2001.
2001.
9/11 impacted him, and it impacted us all in different ways.
I don't think.
And 9/11 happened, and Tiger was like, "I'm not doing
don't
the
think that's
Phoenix Open anymore."
What happened? I think you're confused.
Oh,
you
don't think that's how, what he made?
Here's what happened.
decision
This is what he says. Now I think that he had that. Somebody threw an orange at him.
Yeah,
in '99 or something like that, and then
did it hit him?
It didn't hit him, and then something else happened in 2001, and the guy they caught a guy who had a gun in his backpack. And he said, "Fuck this." And then the Dubai Invitational offered him $1 million a year just to come play.
Cheddar.
So he said, "Oh, you're going to pay me $1
Wouldn't
million?
you rather take cheddar than
there was a
getting
gun
orange
at?"
on it? Yeah.
So he
I
went.
get it.
and never came back. But I think this is a great place for him to come back. He seems very loose. If you've seen him in his interviews,
is he loosey goosey?
This is his
I hope he's
spot
getting
to
some
be.
sauce in.
You know
Do you
what I
think
mean?
he's kicked drinking?
No.
I hope he hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he should probably, considering.
Yeah. But no, I don't think he has.
I think he's doing the sleeping pill still.
I hope not. You think he's still cheating on his wife? He's not.
Well,
married.
he's doing Lindsey Vonn now.
Yeah.
You see, he lost his tooth.
I did. That's a whole downhill thing there.
But Tiger Woods come back, and this Waste Management Open is crazy. And if you're ever thinking like, when is a good time to come to Phoenix? I always forget to tell people. I always tell people March, and I'm not wrong when I say March. March is, I think,
Might be the best place on earth in March.
in March. There's no better place in America, at least. I don't know about the rest.
You used to say that years ago. I'd be like, no, but I'm convinced now. There's no better
March.
place.
There's no better place to be in the month of March than Arizona. I'm telling you. But especially if you're a baseball fan, and that kind of is also a little biased, but it's true. I don't know.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of shit going
I know.
on anyways.
I know, but the one weekend I always forget to tell people is this is a good weekend too because it's so fun. You get $30 admission, you get in, and you're in.
It's Booze Cruise.
And that's not expensive considering what you get for it. You're at this party on this golf course.
A beautiful golf course.
It's a beautiful golf course. It is usually pretty competitive, but like even the golfers, like, yeah, obviously if you want to win and you get money if you win,
it's a
but
laid
like
back
they're all
vibe.
kicking it. Yeah, don't you like? There's
And
caddy
I hear
races
the way
and
that
shit.
it plays is a lot of birdies. It's not an easy course by any means. Like if we were to get out there, of course it'd be hard.
Right, but it's
these
not
guys,
a hard
Yes.
course. Isn't it early in the year too?
This is very beginning of
this
the
is
year.
How,
This
yeah,
is
don't
before,
they play the calendar year? It's pretty much a golf season.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
January to December,
right here, very early in the year.
and they get only like 3 weeks off. You ever think of that? That's a grind.
If they want, they can. Well, that's the thing. Tiger would just take off what he wanted to take off.
Right.
The other guys are just
But
playing
like
every
if
weekend.
you're grinding
Every weekend.
now, it's not bad, right? You're playing golf for a living.
Yeah, and then getting who knows what's going on
Some
after this. Yeah, you're done at 6. Let's hit
Come on,
hole
yeah.
19.
I know. Yeah, exactly. But that's golf. Being a above average golfer.
Oh, you see, the thing is
Would be
there's tons of
amazing.
women in the crowd who have no idea what's going on, and they're just watching the golfers. You watch the golfers walk up, and what these girls are saying to them. It's literally a college football atmosphere at a.
I've never been to another golf thing.
Neither
Have you?
I. No.
It's so crazy. Though. It's hard to explain to people because people are always like, "Ah."
It's a golf thing. No, it is
It
not.
is so much more
it is
than a
not
golf
golf.
thing. It's not. It's barely a golf
not
thing.
golf.
It's barely a golf thing. Yeah.
You are at a party, the biggest party you've ever been at.
And so you're actually not going to make it this year, which is unfortunate.
I'm not. It's okay though, because honestly, I
I'm
was
going
talking about it
Saturday.
today, and I was telling, we did it last year. Like we did it real big. I think I could take a year off. That was nuts last year.
And I don't go every year either. I mean,
No.
I'm not. You go when you can. You know what you're getting into if you go though. If
So
you
that's
go,
a day. That's a hell of a day. And I
That's
expect
a
to
day
see you
and a
guys.
half.
Actually, do not come anywhere near Grimaldis after you leave that.
might need some pizza, dude. So that's what I'm doing. That on Saturday, I've got admission. I'm just buying general admission. There's like almost like a arena atmosphere on hole
16th
16.
hole.
And it's the biggest, the most attended hole in golf.
Oh yeah.
Like they got bleachers and stuff. Like I'm telling anybody listening, this shit is out of control.
Yeah.
And if you're a golf fan, get the fuck out of here. If you're a booze hound, make a trip.
If you're a fan of booze, no, I'll
But
see
this
a lot of
weekend's gonna
people.
be rowdy, though.
A lot of people that I saw today at work. I'm like, what are you doing out here? Oh, we coming out here every year
For the golf
Phoenix
thing,
Open.
yeah.
And you're like, really? You're like, yeah, every single year.
And you think about it, if you're from anywhere else, let's say you're in the end of January, you're balls deep in winter, you're getting shit weather, especially if you're back east. I hope everybody's safe. That looked pretty shitty.
Yeah, that
I
didn't
don't think
look
we
fun.
know anybody up there though, other than
Paula,
cousin Paula.
Yeah, Paula's in Boston, but she's been posting pictures. She looks good.
Which is all right. And then, but if you're balls deep in winter, in your mind, if you can just get to Phoenix, it is beautiful out here. It might rain this weekend, but like,
No,
it might actually rain Saturday,
that's what I've heard.
which would just make that a booze fest with no golf.
No, with plenty of golf. They'll
Do you,
play through them,
do you
right?
golf through
They can play
lightning
through.
and shit?
Yeah.
If it lightning,
Lightning's a
I've seen
different story.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, no, they'll golf through rain if they have to.
Either way.
But the irrigation out here is
That's an issue.
leaves a lit to be a lit.
You got that?
No, I don't.
Waste Management Open. So I'll be doing that. I'm sure I'll come back with some stories next week. That'll be fun. Saturday, Booze Fest, Booze Cruise. Take some pictures.
Last year, you took a pretty epic Newsies picture.
Who was wearing that?
You were. Well, Reddish was. Reddish, that's his...
No, he was. We didn't even know Reddish at that point.
It was Mangus.
It was yeah, we got a buddy that does rock a Newsies hat. How do you describe that hat? What is that hat?
That is
it's like a Kangol. I always just call it a Kangol, but it's not a Kangol.
Like a golfer's like...
It's a Newsies hat.
Newsies. That's not the name for it, but...
I stole somebody's hat. I don't think it was Mangus's dude. It was some random dude we didn't know. But we did know. He was with our group.
Right.
And, yeah, I was singing Santa Fe a lot.
And I swear I won't forget you.
Headlines don't sell papers. Newsies do.
That's right. That was a great day. The banana phone was busted out.
That was a wild day last year. Yeah, it was good times. We do keep it crunk. You ever think about that?
Absolutely. That was a fun day.
That was great. And it should be fun again this year, and so I'll be doing that. And then that's Saturday. That's all weekend, and it even goes on Sunday. The rowdiest of rowdy do all those days, and then they go to the Super Bowl. And you know there's people that are doing that, hitting it every day, traveling out here, hitting it, and then leaving Sunday afternoon to go to the SB 4-9. I mean, I want to shake the guy's hand.
That's too much.
I guarantee it's a group of dudes that are doing life right.
That's way too much, don't you think?
Well, they got
by Saturday? After you've done Thursday and Friday?
I'm assuming not only are you a cheddar boy, but you got a good coke
hookup. You got some money, dude, and some real serious cocaine,
Yeah. Some uppers.
A lot of uppers.
Yeah.
A lot of uppers, and we're not talking about Red Bull.
So, it should be fun. But, yeah, that's this weekend, and then after that, obviously, the city of Phoenix, hashtag Glendale, really, will be hosting the Super Bowl.
On Sunday afternoon, about 4:35 Pacific Standard Time.
Would you ever go, if your team wasn't involved, and obviously our team is the same team, the Bengals, do you feel inclined to go to a Super Bowl?
I'd like to go to the Super Bowl, yeah. If I had the chance, I wouldn't pay.
I wouldn't go I don't think I'm ever going to go unless the Bengals go.
It'd be cool. I've heard it's incredible. Like
I'm sure it is.
Just the energy is absolutely out of control.
You ever go to a game?
Honestly, maybe even before the game. Like the game is the game, but just like
tailgating.
The build-up is just insane.
It is crazy. It's the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah. It is crazy how they've built it up.
Our dad has been to a lot of Super Bowls.
Has he?
Yeah,
couple.
NBC. I want to say, not gonna lie, I want to say 10 Super Bowls.
Jim Turner. I don't believe that.
I've seen the tickets.
Damn.
NBC.
He didn't tell us enough stories. You ever think that?
You don't remember.
Did he tell us these stories of him going? Yeah. I just think he was too drunk to know.
No, you know what? I think that he was lucky in the way that he got to go and do a lot of those things because of the hookups and the people he worked for. And it wasn't like he paid for it. They're like, here's the tickets. We got the tickets.
Yeah, he's a schmooze McGee, dude. Yeah. Rubbing elbows, kissing babies.
Went to a lot of Super Bowls.
He did he go to the Bengals Super Bowl?
I don't think so. I think it was in the 70s and early 80s.
Now the Super Bowl is so different. Either way, I think that I wouldn't go to a Super Bowl unless the Bengals are in it.
No, first of all, yeah, when he was going, those tickets were not what they are now.
Yeah,
not.
It was just a game. It was like
it was an expensive ticket, but it wasn't.
It was a game, but it wasn't the game that we know now, which is the toughest ticket in the world. It's the biggest. It's the biggest game in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, people around the world watch the Super Bowl,
and they came here for Media Day yesterday to ask people from all over the world to ask questions. Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, you got any opinions on our boy?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Huh?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, at this point, I'm kind of getting annoyed.
I'm very annoyed.
It just sucks.
I understand that he doesn't. How could you be this upset about not talking to the media though? You can't say anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird now. But at this point, also, it's kind of a marketing thing. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Well, if he's not making money somewhere else
outside of football. Yeah.
which I hope he is. If that's
I think
that's
he's
just
pretty
stupid.
smart with his money too. From what I've heard, he's a big charity guy. He's a big giver back to Oakland, and he's done some spots on, like, I think Real Sports or like E60 or something. Did some shit about him one time, just about the positive that he does. And it seems like a good guy, but it's like, just talk a little bit.
Did you watch NFL sound effects of that comeback?
No,
it's real good. That wheel route that he runs, and when he almost catches the touch. Well, he steps out of bounds in the actual play. But do you remember the play I'm talking about?
It was like a 40-yard gain, a 30-yard gain.
Yes, but he stepped out of bounds actually, but he was still at the 10.
Oh yeah.
Russell Wilson comes up to him on the bench like, if I see it, I'm coming to you.
The wheel route?
Yeah, and he
and then it occurred?
And then it occurs. No, the best is Marshawn is always on the bench, just kind of lounged out, sitting back. You know what I mean? Russell comes up and says that, and he's like, I got you, dog. Just like the calmest, like, I got you, dog. Right? And he does it. And that's the thing. On the field, he is all about, I don't want to talk.
He's
I want
about
the
that
field.
action,
I want
boss.
my play on the field to do all the talking for me. And he on the field is absolutely incredible.
He's about that action, boss.
Beast.
Yeah, I like him because I actually like people that don't. You know, that's always that saying: "Don't talk about it, be about it." I mean, he defines that, and you know, it's just tough because we're in such a media crazed society that we just say something, and it is crazy because it's funny if you listen to other people talk like Bill Belichick typically or Marvin Lewis or something like that. They're talking, but they're literally not saying anything.
Coach speak.
There's an art in not saying a damn thing. AJ Green, the Bengals are pretty bland, right? There's not going to be a lot of people that say anything, and I'm fine with that. I wish they walked it more than they talked it, though. I mean, I wish they just fucking stepped up in big games.
Please.
But it's just like you don't have to say anything, and the people that actually do talk aren't saying shit anyway. So at least he's kind of being entertaining, I guess. But it's kind of annoying at this point.
Yeah, like Andy Dalton was at Alvin Ivy on Saturday night.
How do you look? They look well.
No, I wasn't there, but I didn't work,
right,
but I got a bunch of texts like, "Hey, Dalton's here," and I kept thinking, like, if I saw, I don't even know if I'd want. I'm mad at him. You know what I mean?
I'm a little mad.
I go up to him.
I would
like,
just
hey,
tell him,
man,
like, "Hey, man,
fuck you.
I'm from Cincinnati.
Get it together."
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything complimentary, but I'm like, "Hey, man, I grew up born and raised, man,
in Cincinnati." Shake his hand and say, "Do it."
Yeah,
step up. It's a step up mentality.
Hey, he's in the Pro Bowl.
He got booed in the Pro Bowl.
He got booed in the Pro Bowl.
Who gets booed in the Pro Bowl?
Did
Andy
you see
Dalton
what he
gets
did
booed.
in the Pro Bowl?
He went Andy Dalton.
Looked horrible.
We've seen it.
You feel bad for him, but you don't because it's like
I know it's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. I mean, it is what it is. But you're like, fuck. It is. It's embarrassing.
The thing is, the nice thing is that we have enough around, and I'm sorry that we're now going back to Bengals, even though the Super Bowl is coming up. But like,
stay here. For
we
15
have
minutes.
This team that is so good, and they're probably a quarterback away. You could say they're a quarterback away, and now you know that. I think we've identified that one of the main issues is him, but also he is good enough to do a lot that we need. Right, like he's good enough to take us there and to take us to the playoffs. That's not easy. You know, you don't just get to the playoffs every year in your career. Like that's not. I don't care who's around you, but the nice thing is we've got enough around him, and this contract is led in a way where we could cut him loose after next year.
Yeah,
and either it's a free agent signing. You know, maybe we can pick up a free agent and get him in. If you draft somebody this year, I don't know enough. I don't like A.J. McCarron. I didn't like him out of Alabama. I don't think Alabama produces quarterbacks that are going to be good in the NFL. That's just my opinion.
Tell that to Joe Namath.
This system, though. Yeah, this system, like, because the kid before A.J. McCarron
McElroy?
He won a championship, too. And he was one of the most efficient players.
Did he win two? Or A.J. won two?
I think A.J. won two. Yeah. But he was super efficient.
But I always do think a free agent quarterback, would want to come play with A.J. Green, right?
You serious? Yeah. You serious, Clark?
Who, though?
I don't know. I'm very frustrated.
Tom Brady?
TB.
A 39-year-old Tom Brady?
Kurt Warner?
Sign him up!
Hit him up! Drew Brees after the Saints cut him?
KW, I'd take Drew Brees.
I would take an old Drew Brees.
All day. Give me 37, 38, 39-year-old Drew Brees.
That's what we could be looking at. Or like somehow, like the Chargers are like, we don't want Rivers anymore.
Bring in Brees.
Come on.
Don't even think about Brees.
Come on.
Come on.
So I don't know. We'll see
Don't
what
forget
happens.
about that. That's all we got.
That's all we got. But either way, next year is Dalton's probably last year, and if he gets us to this promised land
of one
we
player,
might. Then we'll give him another year. But you can cut him after every year, which is
it's frustrating. Let's
it
move
is
on
frustrating.
from
I'm sorry.
Are you still watching The Wire?
Oh my God!
Are you?
Anybody that hasn't used this HD re-release of The Wire to rewatch The Wire is not doing life right now. I'm telling you, the things that I'm rewatching, you've seen it twice. I didn't know you watched it all twice. I have, and I think actually there's nice perspective on my end because I hadn't watched it probably
all the way through.
I didn't watch it all the way through like this, and I also hadn't watched it all since, it's been 4 years.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
And the one thing, I think I might have said this last week, but because people, you can have your opinion on what your favorite TV show is.
But
you're
if
wrong. You haven't seen, no, I don't give a shit.
No,
you can say whatever the fuck you want. But if I then ask you, have you seen The Wire, and you say no, your opinion doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't seen The Wire,
it's really good.
Then you got nothing to compare it to, and it's different than any other great show, but it's so good. And don't you wish that they were still writing after the collapse of the economy? There could have been so much more. Because the coolest thing about The Wire was that they really hit on everything post 9/11, how it pertained to how the cops and the surveillance affected everything. And you were able to get wiretaps, and they hit on a lot of things post 9/11 that were going on in police and in cities and stuff like that. And if he was able to speak on what was going on in politics and stuff like that post the 2008 recession, I think he'd have a lot to say. But it's such a good show. It's timeless.
Great show.
It's still just as
Love
good.
That show. You just did a pretty big show on Friday.
Who did?
7,000 feet, man.
Up at I did a comedy show up in Flagstaff, Arizona. Dude, I'll go.
And for me, it was exciting for me to know that you're up there because, honestly, we've been going up to Flagstaff for how long? 20 years?
And when you've been to the Orpheum?
I've been to the Orpheum. I've seen it a million times. I've only been there for one show once.
You know what?
You played
Maureen told me we've been there twice. You were there. It used to not be what it was, and it used to be an old movie theater. And you danced on the stage one time.
Excuse me?
This is what our Aunt Maureen told me when
I
we were in there.
danced on the stage?
She said she'll never forget it. You had blonde hair.
Oh,
you
shit.
danced on the stage at the Orpheum.
Blonde hair. I was in a Jared Leto Fight Club phase of my life.
It wasn't a good look. You know what? It wasn't. It was 98.
Everybody was doing
it. Was 98.
Everybody was doing it.
Well, yeah,
I have a photo of it. It's
a
bad look, but it grew into some pretty strong highlights.
Did you come back and just slay hoes with that?
It was a shock. It was for sure. I was trying to create some shockwaves.
John went so blonde in the summer of '98.
So blonde. And the best is, I think I still have the picture of. I took a picture. If you remember this, you probably don't because you didn't remember being there. But
being where?
Being in Arizona, you were like, I was there. We went to Yosemite.
No, I'm kidding. I remember that. I do, but I don't. It's just like
I know. We were young.
No, our Yosemite trips significant. I pair them all together.
We were young.
Yeah.
But when I came back,
wild and free.
Aunt Maureen didn't tell
our
mother that I had dyed my hair.
Your mother.
So it was kind of like I don't know. I was 14. I was trying to say, I don't know what the hell I was trying to do. Whatever. Everybody else was doing it, so I did it. And
was she pissed? I forget how pissed.
She was pissed.
Yeah.
Not in the moment. I have a picture of her though as I got off the plane. And she saw it, and it's pretty. It's amazing.
You have that
She's
picture still?
Totally shocked. It's in Mom's house. I was texting her the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
You looked amazing. We just saw a picture of that recently.
I wouldn't say amazing, but it's very blonde.
Yeah.
Some of those throwback listeners might remember John Turner with blonde hair. I don't think so though.
No. You should do that again, man.
Dude, it was a summer thing. Then do you remember Sun In?
Huh?
Do you remember Sun In?
No.
It was a spray thing. You could. Whatever he was doing was you'd spray the top of your hair, just the top part. So you'd leave your hair brown down here or whatever, and your top would be blonde. Dude, I mean, Eminem was doing it. I don't know. It was fucking...
Eminem was doing it.
It was shady. It was the Slim Shady look.
I remember, you remember our buddy Sam Oxen got a fucking leopard print in his hair.
Oh, yeah.
And then you still had to be buddies with these guys. This was my best friend at the time, you know? And it's like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Tough spot to be in.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah. But my hair was blonde as shit, yeah.
That was, so at the Orpheum, though, you danced with blonde hair years ago. And now, and then I sat there, and I did 15, 20 minutes of comedy up there. It's always good to take your comedy to a city that is a little bit more stuffy. Flagstaff was a little bit more, and there was a conservative audience. They're not a conservative city by any means. That's a hippie town, USA, as far as Arizona goes. And Arizona is very conservative. That's like the liberal thinking city.
A lot of runaways.
Yeah. that was that song. That song was actually about Flagstaff, Runaway Train. But it was a little stuffy, and I kind of tried to break them in with Tony Thompson finger fucking jokes and stuff. But
Jeez.
You know what? I thought I did really well. I know I did really well. It was good. I kind of broke them in, and my buddy James Hohenscheid headline. You get people that actually come up after the show, and they're like, "I thought you were better. I thought you were better." Yeah, and then you just want to tell them you don't know what you're looking at. But thank you. But I appreciate that. That's a nice thing to hear, though. It kind of lets you know you're doing something right, and you're always going to have certain people that like you better than the headline or whatever. But that was good. And then we got, and then I got some weed from a 16-year-old, and Flagstaff.
Did you?
It was
From a
good.
16-year-old.
Well, I don't want to get into too many specifics, but things got pretty serious pretty quick. I thought I was. Or no, he was 18, actually. He was of legal age.
That's good.
To deal marijuana.
Give me marijuana.
Good stuff, though. Great time. What else did we do this week? I saw... Did we mention that I saw American Sniper?
No, not yet. I saw it last week.
Last week you saw it. I saw it this week. And it's good.
You liked it?
Well, I want to see all these Oscar things. That was important to see that one. That's got a lot of noms. I didn't walk away from it. At no point did I walk away from it. I was like, he's winning Best Director.
Did you just shorten nominations to noms?
Yeah.
You've been doing that?
Oh, sure. And I don't think they're going to take away any Oscars or anything, but I thought it was a damn good movie.
Yeah,
and I think it's a good movie on the war, and it's an important movie on the war, regardless of how you feel about the truth of who Chris Kyle was, or whatever your perspective is on that.
How could we know who he is? I never met the guy.
Right, but you want a movie to be able to portray that, and there was obviously things going on. I think his story. If anything, his story is more universal than anything. Obviously, his people's perspective on him in the war is his nickname was like the Legend and stuff like that. But his story is universal in the way that the war affected him, and then he had to go back in society. And I thought that was the main theme of the movie.
Right.
I didn't think he was like, Chris Kyle's this amazing person.
Kept cutting back and forth to. Boom, he's here.
Tour,
boom,
and then he's back.
Wow. 5 tours, or 4 tours.
And
it's insane.
It's sad ending. Did you tear up? I teared up a little bit.
Oh, sure. The very end.
And
Caroline, all right, yeah, I cried. Caroline was like, I've never seen you cry in a movie. Makes you think of a lot of stuff. Makes you think of Brandon, makes you think of
everything. I mean, just those guys over there. Everybody.
And like the scenes, there'll be scenes, just how horrifying it'd be to be in a city like that where you don't know anything. You don't know what's around the next corner, what's in that door, and you're just so vulnerable.
Yeah, and
they'd love to have him up there, Chris Kyle, because he was one of the best sniper in U.S. military history. and they loved having him up there because they felt protected. Even if
Yeah,
they
that
weren't-
was pretty cool.
Even if the fact that he couldn't protect all of them, but it's all about a mentality. If you know,
Yeah.
if they know, hey, Legend's up there,
Yeah.
we're all right, and you might go into a door like, really, but God, that'd be so horrifying. And then to come home, I thought it was well done.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was a real.
To go
Clint
from
Eastwood
that
doesn't make
to
bad movies.
boom.
It didn't. Did you? I was watching it and I didn't feel at any point. I was like, this is a fucking Eastwood movie. I always feel like he puts his stamp on things a little bit more than that. But it was good though, and it was an important film to see. But people are getting caught up in the wrong things. What are they fucking?
They're worried about the wrong
They're-
things, and I haven't
yeah.
even read those articles. 'Cause
Like,
I don't care.
One of the articles was one of the things was about how it makes it out like 9/11 led to the war in Iraq.
Why?
But at the same time,
It's a real
it
thing that
was
happened.
something that it was a precursor. If that didn't happen, then we wouldn't have been over there. Yeah, they were over there for not for like obviously
They're focused
in
on the wrong
hindsight.
things.
Yeah,
Yes, so there's a scene in there where they're at the house and 9/11 happened.
and it was a big deal as him as a person in the Navy. You look at that, and if you're looking at that, you realize I'm going to go to war. That's what the scene was about for me.
And it was
like,
also
this is
about. I
real.
do think that Chris Kyle was upset about what happened on 9/11.
Well, and like the strike earlier, they showed 2 different terrorist
Right.
attacks. Yeah, and that incited him to join up. So they're just telling a
True
story.
facts.
Yeah,
It made everybody feel a different way,
yeah.
and I think it made them upset. I'm not saying that it. Whatever.
I know.
It happened.
People are
9/11 happened.
People are getting caught up in the wrong things with that.
The
movie.
wrong things. I don't even read those articles.
It is a good movie, and but the thing about it is, it's filled. Sure, it's not even filled with fallacies. It's filled with omissions. It's filled
Yes.
with omissions. That's all it is. But they made a 2-hour movie, and it said a lot of things, and a lot of important things, and you learn a lot about a person.
I like
that,
the way it ended. A lot of people don't like the way it ended. I like the way it ended.
I
'cause
would. I liked that it ended that way, and it didn't actually show.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper was amazing.
Good movie. Cooper is in the top 10 doing it right now.
He's really doing
Male
it.
actors.
Gyllenhaal too.
I love Gyllenhaal. You know that
Mad
about
respect
me.
to Gyllenhaal. I think he should be up there.
I love Gyllenhaal.
No, I know that. No, I know that about you.
Are you being facetious?
I'm not being facetious at all. I really do. I think, honestly, apparently, like, he's doing another movie right now. He gained the weight back. And that's what I like, a guy like
Dude,
that who's
Gyllenhaal is
willing
the
to
man.
put the real, like, method act, put the work in.
Gyllenhaal is the man.
That's why De Niro is probably my favorite actor, because he would become the part.
You think these guys are getting back to? I think that we're in an era of really good actors again. I think that there was a weird time there for like 10 years where we just had like DiCaprio was like the only person that really came
but
up.
DiCaprio, first of all, is still doing it. Might be better than ever now.
Right. And he's really good. But like of that, there was like a 10-year time when like all of a sudden like Josh Hartnett's getting thrown in this and it's like, no, that ain't it. And then you're looking at like Clive Owen actually gets underappreciated. He's a good actor.
He's good.
But he never really latched on to any good movies.
Children of Men.
You know what? I watched that recently for the first time. Really good, but not like people always hype that movie a lot.
That's a good one.
It's a good movie
that
though.
he did.
Yeah, I agree.
And
yeah,
he's also good in.
I liked him in King Arthur. Is that weird?
Did you?
I thought that was a good movie.
That's amazing.
But
no, but we got some good guys. We got
now we got
Gyllenhaal,
you got
Cooper,
Gosling.
Benedict Cumberbatch,
Benedict Cumberbatch is my boy. You know that about
Ryan
me.
Gosling.
Gosling, I think, is really good.
Gosling's great.
Who's the other guy? Christian Bale.
Yeah, man. We're going to good
Well, I
time
think we're
for
in a
male
heyday.
actors, yeah.
I think
McConaughey.
you know who I think is going to start really crushing it in Hollywood. I think a little bit more is Idris Elba from Stringer Bell. I think he's going to start getting some roles. He had one last year.
He's got to be in his 40s or something, right?
Yeah, he's probably early 40s. Yeah,
And
he does. The black don't crack.
DiCaprio just turned 40, I think.
That's crazy.
And
no, he did not.
Yeah, De Niro made.
Oh my god.
Yeah, check your soul on that one. That'll make you feel old.
That's
but,
a cheddar check right there.
De Niro made Goodfellas at 40. He made Raging Bull in 1980. He made Goodfellas in 1990. And then it was like, what was it in 2000s? Analyze this. It's tough to keep going with it through the decades to keep making great movies.
Oh yeah, it's real tough.
40 though, I'm telling you, it's gonna be good because 30 is awesome.
And I know, have we touched everything for the week? FanFest, you went alone.
Not to bring that up again.
I think that was the main point of it.
John went to ESPN FanFest 3
times
days
alone
by himself.
We got any other factoids you need to let the people know about?
Yes, I'm going to take the Seahawks to win the game on Sunday. I'm going to take the final score of I'm changing my. I think I said 35-31 last week. I'm going to go with 31-28.
31-28.
31-28 Seahawks. That way we win our pool.
Oh yeah, we're in a pool and we could win $1,000 at halftime and at the final.
Nice.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully that's the score at halftime and at final.
And I'm gonna also. I've put some thought to it, and I think I said this last week too. You said the Seahawks last week too,
yes.
right? I do still think the Seahawks will win.
I do. That defense is something else.
I don't know. Yeah, it's something about watching them all year, and and both teams started shaky. Seahawks were 3-3 at one point. Patriots were 2-2. But I don't know.
The Bengals were 3-0.
Yeah, the Bengals were 3-0. What does that mean?
Who gives a shit?
But I just like how the Hawks, as a team, they just seem like, I don't know. There's something about it. You can't really put your finger on it, but I think that they're going to win. I also think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a single possession game. I think it's going to come down to some last minute plays, and I'm going to go with 28-24 Seattle Seahawks.
Got it. That sounds pretty good. I like that.
We shall see, though. I just hope it's a good game.
We're going to go experience the Super Bowl experience a little bit tonight. Go get out there on the town a little bit.
Get out there. Should we close on Lupe, or should we do or die next week? What are we doing?
Let's do or die tonight.
We're going to close out on a song that I think, honestly, I bumped this song. I used to bump this song so hard out the whip. And it reminds me...
You're banging Justice League hard out the whip.
We were talking about our buddy, and we talked a lot about the Iraq War. Our friend, Brandon Honnert passed away. May he rest in peace in 2008.
Always.
And I remember introducing him to this song. And do they have it on Spotify? And it's just it's an important song. Now hold on real quick. I gotta find it now.
If you don't find that one, you can always play P.I.M.P.
What's that one?
Pope Impology.
Pope Impology. That is, yeah.
Do or die. O-L-G.
Oh, why? O-N-D. That's what I was thinking of, the Usher song. Pope Pimp. Should we do Pope Pimp?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I haven't heard that in so long.
It's got to be on here. Let me see where that album from. It's got to be 2006. Get That Paper. Nope. Yeah, we're going Pope Pimp. Either way, do or die. You guys should listen to that Higher song because that's an important song. But Pope Pimp, we're going with from Do or Die. Close it out on the Chicago hip hop scene.
Do or die. Love you guys.
God bless and good night. And enjoy the Super Bowl. Don't do anything crazy. But at the same time, get fucking crazy.
And pray for us. This is going to be a pretty crazy week for us.
Yeah, Saturday should be rough for your boy MJT. We will see you all next week.
On the other side. Man.
On the other side. Holla.
Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chop it up with do or die. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chop it up with do or die. 7 p.m. Flying love to them hoes in the PM. Sipping Seagram. Showing all the weed stem. Touching on my phone film. Moving to the back so I can see who beeping this Pope Pimp. Free to the phone with a slow limp. In a trip out shit it with 312-762. 3-line connection. Us some rest that wanted affection. Let's bring the weed. We got the trees you need. And plus we strapped with 2 protections. I put the phone in the hook, then I pause for a minute. Cause I forgot where I'm at the hoe. And the fact that I forgot me the hoes wanna snap, I straight up check the hoe. Really dope to the crib. Oh, do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chop it up, do or die. P.O. Do you wanna ride in the backseat
spot the live hoes, 3 miles per hour. Like we running up on some rivals. Never tell it I know. These bitches fly low. Introduce myself. A to the motherfucker came and recognize. Better loose myself, juice myself. As you take one pull up, pass it to the left and self-centered niggas will take 2 pull, cause they thinking about self and P-I-M-P, ology. But logically, we learning these hoes biology and obviously, well.
Ain't this some shit? Pull up in the C-A-D-I, double L, bumpin' AC. AC hoes, they peep those, P-I-M-P. And they think that automatically, cause he's a pimp, he gotta be full of that M-O-N-E. But why? Cause nigga be sporting nice cars and fancy clothes, fresh Georgia Bowl, flexing 150. Chop up that paper house, chop up that paper house. Watch where your lips go. Caress my tips slow to the tempo. Instrumental, real simple when you fucking with a pimp though. Get a bob in the back seat, that's how it be in the cab when you mess with the young lads. Smoking on that finest grad, never miss what you never had. At last, P-I-M-P, ology, but logically be learning these hoes biology and honestly, well.
Wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up and do or die. Do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up?
Well, a motherfucker might be broke and shit, and they collecting no dope and tips, but I be spitting more game than a mouth full of poker chips to get them hoes with the open lips and the provoking hips. I never gotta tell them any lies. Have them looking in the city skies. Get up in the kitty styles, cause I'm blessed with a look of innocence, good sex, peanut butter complex, that's a pretty eye. Pity cries on my strategy side. Yo, anatomy gotta be right, that'll be the flat of me right. But if the head, the bomb, come on, suck a nigga dick. Members of my clique wanna see what that'll be like. I know you wanna try that. To the rhythm of a hi-hat. Don't be bogus and deny that. I done got a hold of them, my fellas wanna train while she lie back. Now, motherfucker, can you buy that? Where you ride at? On the passenger side of yo ho, tryna come up on another G. The broad all up under me, tryna smother me, looking lovely while I roll another beat. Suddenly, she learned that I don't deal with emotions. But when we in the room, she rubbing me with lotion. Coming like an ocean coast and have a sick thinking me and do what I did, cause you love potion. The word no was never said. Supposed to be giving women dick in the bed until they sick in the head. And if I ever leave whoever dead, they ain't tricking the feds. I'm spitting gang with a stick in the bread, kicking them legs in the air like a player do. Then be little in a day or two. Afterwards, I'ma say a crew. Now that's a pimp type shit that be low in AK you do. Wearing gray and blue. If a hoe in the holler, then you a player if you hit them ends and get the dividends. But you a pimp if you can get the same hoe to wanna freak your friends. Cause I study P-I-M-P, ology, but logically be learning these hoes biology. Obviously, well, P-O-P-I.
Ride in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up and do or die. Do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up and do or die? Whoa, ride. Do you wanna ride with me? Come and ride with me, baby. Come on, ride with me. Come and ride or die.
This has been another proud production of the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You want to see more shows, go check out www.4eyeradio.com, you winkers.